Got some structured water things. Got Dan Winter's original imploder nozzle and his new super imploder. And I'm going to explain the differences between the magnets in the original imploder versus the magnets in this super imploder. I'm also going to be taking a closer look at Clayton Nolte's water structurizer. So this is Dan Winter's super imploder, which weighs about 25 pounds. This nozzle came with it. I put some silicone tape around the threading so that it would make a better seal. Pretty easy right there. Alright. Now, the magnets in this original imploder are ring magnets. And those ring magnets are forced together even though they want to repel. So here's what Dan Winter did as an example. You have a ring magnet, you have another ring magnet. They want to go together, and they want to repel apart. So what he did is he forced them together even though they want to repel. And the way he did that is he took a steel washer, the same diameter as the inner diameter, and that magnet just nicely sticks to the washer. And this magnet wants to stick that way, but we can force it together even though it wants to repel, because it will be attracted to that bond stronger than the repulsion of the magnets. So even though they want to repel, you can force them together anyway. And that's what Dan Winter pretty much has in this PVC pipe. Our neodymium magnets forced together in this fashion, and then the water passes through those rings, comes out the other side. The difference between the super imploder and this one is the type and orientation of the magnets. So in this one, from what I understand, he's using block magnets. Something like this shape. This is just an example. Let's say this is a magnet. So let's say we have two block magnets, and let's say this thing is made of steel or iron, and you have a bracket. So you have the magnet sticking to the bracket, and you have the other magnet sticking to the bracket like that. So these would be north-south, south-north. So the two south poles would be forced together. And then what I think he does in here is he has the tube, and he pretty much just puts the tube through the bracket like that, so that only the south poles are being exposed to the pipe. Now what happens to a magnetic field when it's next to a piece of iron or steel? So I just quickly drew this out to explain. You have a magnet, and it's got the magnetic fields around it, north and south. When you have a piece of iron or steel next to a magnet, those field lines get sucked into the metal, and they don't circulate around like that anymore. They go into the metal and circulate in the metal. So field lines get drawn into it. So what Dan Winter is doing is he has this bracket, and he has the magnets forced together even though they want to repel. So the pole that he does not want to expose to the water gets drawn into the steel bracket, so that only the south poles are being exposed to the water. And you have the pipe going through the middle. And that is looking at that like that. Okay. So that's the difference between this and this. It uses much more powerful magnets in this, in a different orientation, and seems to work a lot better, he says. And there are lots of information and data on fractalwater.com and also look down in the links below this video. I have a lot of them relating to water structurizing, health benefits, data, the science behind it, and everything you could ask for regarding water structurizers. This is a magnetic viewing film, so we can see the shape of a field. Let's put this right here. There you go. Again, I have more videos underneath this one, more links to show in detail what's going on here. You have one side, you have the middle, and you got the other side. So let's see what happens when you have it against a piece of steel. Defined. Not that well defined because it's being sucked up into the metal. Okay, let's see if we can take a look at the fields in the imploder. Have to. Let's see. One magnet here, because there's the line. That's a pole. That's a pole. Oh, there's another one. So it looks like he has at least 2 sets, if not 4, magnets acting like that in this. And then the PVC pipe around that. So those magnets are not cheap. Alright, and then a quick look inside Clayton Nolte's structurizer. Mine broke in half. So I was pulling on my hose a little too hard and it just snapped in half, but we can at least see inside. So these were glued to the inside. And Clayton Nolte does not use any old plastic. He has done years of research with all sorts of like a combination of materials which are proprietary to his research, but are like a dielectric material and act as fullerenes with little hexagonal and pentagonal holes very microscopically, which the water passes through. And you can look on structurewaterunit.com and all that info down below. At least we can see what's going on with these. So it's cool stuff. And, stay tuned for more updates using this and comparing it to tap water, and also comparing it to Clayton Nolte's device.